Good morning, my friends. This is Tyra Jarvis with Kefi Coaching coming to you live with Transformation Tuesday. I come to you live every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time, and we've been discussing mindset, motivation, and transformation. And we've been having some fun with this topic. And today, what I think is pretty fascinating, I don't know how things are in your neck of the woods, but here, although we're mindfully watching the pandemic effects, and I know that we are still tragically losing people as a result of the virus. At the same time, things are starting to open up a little bit, and I don't know about you, that brings with it some excitement about getting some time back, getting some freedom back, and hopefully we'll be ready to take advantage of some of these things, obviously within your own comfort zone or comfort level, with whatever you're willing to make plans about. I know I've made a couple of plans. I have a golf trip planned later in August. It was canceled last year. Hopefully that will move forward. We're going to go to Whistler, Canada. Looking really forward to that. I've also planned a trip in October with some friends. The Golf Association that I've been a member of since 1996 is hosting a 30-year reunion to some of the seasoned veterans that were involved with the Executive Women's Golf Association. So I'll be traveling to Nashville. I've been there, actually, it was one of my more recent trips. Love Nashville, I love being there and visiting and experiencing the culture there, as well as the food and the music, and everything is really great. So what I thought we would do today is talk a little bit about time and energy. And protecting time and energy is one of the practices that I discuss in a lot more detail in my audio program, The Fulfillment Formula. And that's a 3-part audio series. If you don't already have it, check it out. It's tyrajarvis.com/fulfillment-audio. And in that audio program, I talk about the foundation for fulfillment and then how you bridge to get to actually practicing on a daily basis. And one of those practices is protecting your time and your energy. And I think with time, I've kind of made myself a student of time and time management and my behavior and my commitments and the things that I'm aligned to, and really looking at the mechanics of managing time. But what's unique about time is it's your only resource that's not replenishable. In other words, 168 hours in the week is the same amount of time that everybody gets. And what you do with that time is your privilege and your right. At the same time, you don't get that back. So at the end of the day, I think I had a Transformation Tuesday a while ago about a bank withdrawal, and that you get 24 hours in the day, or say $24 or whatever. And at the end of that day, however you spent it, or if you didn't spend it, or if you wasted it, it's gone. The next morning you get another 24 hours. So you want to get that time is really a finite chunk of resource that you have, and how you choose to manage it, use it to your best advantage is really within your control. And you want to try to get to a place that you feel that you're managing your time, not that it's managing you. And I know with a lot of the clients that I talk to, they don't feel that they have control over their time. So just a few things that I think have worked for me, and I'm still practicing. I'm still a student of this. Don't get me wrong. So the one is your schedule, and actually having an ideal weekly schedule that includes all the things that are really important to you, and making sure that you set that up in a way. And there's different techniques. There's blocking time. So for me, I take and initiate calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Wednesdays is my day to write and develop content. And so looking at ways to chunk kinds of like activities in blocks is really going to be key. And the other thing is that I heard someone speak one time, we don't really give ourselves buffers between activities. And so we end up either rushing or being late or not really allowing ourselves to do some things. So when you look at this calendar that you create, make sure that it has white space in it, that it gives you a chance to maybe get a breath of fresh air or a glass of water or go to the bathroom or something, but give yourself some white space in between those spots on your calendar. And, a lot of people advocate not getting on social media, not getting on email right away, and to really have a power jam or a 90-minute session where you really crank out maybe one of your top 3 things that you want to do at the start of the day, and you will have gotten that done. And I don't know if you've ever heard the story about making your bed. Even that is a sense of accomplishment on some days for sure. So, making sure that you use your calendar to your advantage, that it has everything in it, that you honor your calendar and you honor your own boundaries within your calendar. Because I think we tend to almost disrespect ourselves because we give others higher priority around access to our calendar. So, just a few things in there. My next blog post will be on this. And again, the audio fulfillment formula, I think, is a good way to get a little bit more information about this kind of stuff. But you want it to include planning time, project time, which would include focused work like my writing, or for you, it might be a project of some kind, studying for a school project. Your admin time, batching your admin tasks together, and then making sure there's time for play on there. For me, my granddaughters are playing t-ball and softball, and I have them registered for golf in the fall. And so just making sure that I have some time around, and even playing golf with my friends, making sure that I honor those commitments to myself. So whatever that is for you, make sure you do it. But the other one that's really interesting, and one of my coaches said that she was encouraging me to look at managing my energy. If you leave yourself depleted, or if you leave yourself with no energy reserves, you're not able to be your best self, regardless of what your calendar says. And so you want to find a way to pace yourself throughout the day and minimize the peaks and valleys, but have enough in your tank that when you need to have a surge and, sprint to a finish line or do whatever you need to do, that you have that in your tank. And I was thinking a little bit about back when I was a cable splicer, and obviously we're dealing with electricity, but energy goes to ground. It goes to the lowest point. And what ends up happening is that if you're not balanced and you're not even and level, that energy in you is gonna sink to whatever's the lowest point in what's going on in you at that time, around your emotions, your feelings, whatever that is for you. So you want to protect a certain level, like never go below a quarter of the tank, never allow yourself to get to empty. Making sure that you're looking at the energy that you're bringing to your projects, and even to your recreation and your play, and to your self-care. I mean, that's where mindset and self-care become really critical, because they're foundational blocks that'll help you protect this energy. And, with Zoom, some of the articles early on is there is such a thing as Zoom fatigue. And we are online a lot. And there might be times when maybe you don't need to be online and actually a phone call might suffice. But think of it as something that's going to protect and help you manage your energy level, so that when you get to the end of the day, you've got some tiger in your tank, so to speak. I know for me, I have a tendency to focus when I'm on something really intently, and then the next thing I know, I haven't eaten, I haven't gotten up, and it's just not going to pay off in the long run. I'm going to suffer the next day or even later that day by not really honoring I need to pace myself better, and I want to actually conserve energy. And that's not to say procrastinate or be lazy or whatever. I'm hoping that you're getting this concept of energy and your own energy management, your own ever-ready bunny, if you will, making sure that you have enough at the tank at the end of the day to actually fulfill all the things that you want. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about here. On this boundaries thing, I think it's big, because a lot of people talk about honoring boundaries with other people. Maybe it's a boss, maybe it's a partner, maybe it's, demanding, family member that, demands time from you. But, no is a complete sentence. and you can say it with sensitivity and compassion, that it just doesn't work for you. And I like the power of the positive no, which I read about a little bit ago, and I've kind of incorporated into this relationship management piece that I talk about. But it's, you want to make it a yes, no, yes. So, acknowledge them for asking, to want you to be included. And at the same time, you don't need to apologize, but at the same time, it's just not going to work for me. And then offer them an alternative. If you want to counter the request, I can do it next weekend. I can't really do it this weekend. It just doesn't work for me this weekend. But don't apologize. Just be assertive in your communication. Make sure that you know that it's really, when I read that I was being selfish when I wasn't, or I was disrespecting myself. I think that's what it said. I think it came out of one of my meditation programs. That when I don't honor my own promises to myself regarding my time, that I'm actually disrespecting myself. So I encourage you to look at your calendar, make it work for you, color code it, do whatever you need to do. Make sure it includes planning, project work, as well as some playtime. And make sure that your mindset and self-care is incorporated in there. And, some kind of focused alignment around your top 3 priorities, I think, will help. And it almost doesn't matter what time management system you use, or, who you follow on this topic. This top 3 thing, and the Brian Tracy eating the big frog first, eat that frog, whatever that looming thing is that you're putting off, that is zapping your energy. It's going to be a lot more positive as an energy source if you can knock it out first thing in the day, and then have the whole day to actually pace yourself through the rest of the day, and maybe some of the things that you would enjoy doing a little bit more. So top 3s are big, 90-minute power jams every day, sometime in your day, to work on something that's really important. And acknowledging and gratitude. I was speaking to a former client yesterday, and when we were recapping some of the things that have been going on this year, she hadn't really taken notice of all that she had accomplished. And I think acknowledging and gratitude for yourself as well as other people is a way to manage your energy, for sure, because it keeps you uplifted. It keeps you from falling on the floor or going into the cellar or whatever it is. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk. Oh, one other technique that I've used that I think is fun is, it's kind of related to the, I don't want to say this wrong, the Pomodoro effect. He uses, I think, some different technique, but I like the 50-20 rule, which if I'm working on a project, I'll set the timer for 50 minutes and make sure I take a 10-minute break, and then on the hour go back. If I need another 50 minutes, I schedule another 50 minutes, and just give yourself those breaks. So I think that's that one works. I don't do it consistently, but I do it sometimes, and when I do it, it works. So I'm still searching for the ones that are going to work best for me. Hopefully, I've suggested a few things that might help you in managing and protecting your time and your energy, so you can do all the great things that you want to do in the world. So with that, I'm gonna wrap. I'm here next Tuesday. I am going to be here Tuesday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, with another Transformation Tuesday. If you know of any groups that are looking for people to speak, I love speaking on these topics of mindset, motivation, and transformation. I would be happy to talk to you a little bit more. So private message me about that. If you don't already have my audio program, check it out at tyrajarvis.com/fulfillment-audio/. And with that, I just want to acknowledge Loretta and Donna for being here live with me today. Always a pleasure to see you guys. Hopefully you got a few ahas and maybe a couple of takeaways this morning. And look forward to seeing you guys next week. So take care, have a great day, and make it an awesome week. Bye-bye.